So in the last video, I introduced you to the 1981 Fiat 131 or Brava four-door that we bought. And I mentioned that it was part of a two-car package. So here is the other car that was purchased as part of that package. It is another Fiat 131, but this one is a two-door, and it is already sporting the Fiat 131 Abarth body kit. So this car is literally my dream car. Yes, I have problems that my dream car is a Fiat. Kids growing up in the 80s, had posters of Lamborghini Countachs and Ferrari 308s and Testarossa later, on their walls, and I had this. I had the Matchbox car in like the iconic Alitalia livery. And ever since then, this to me was the epitome of what I wanted. I just wanted to drive one of these. Super hard to find. I've been looking just for a two-door 131 for a while and cannot find a nice one in the United States, let alone one with the body kit. So, my goal was to find a two-door, and my dreams were always to buy one of these kits. These body kits, there's a guy in like Poland that sells them. The kits alone are like $4,000, and then you got to worry about getting it imported or whatever and installed. Here's the car. It is a shell. It is a two-door shell. It is rust-free. It does have some surface rust from just sitting, but it was stored inside with the other car by the same guy. He always wanted one of these rally cars as well, and he basically found a clean two-door and sent it and bought the body kit, sent it to a body shop, and they installed it. Sent it back to him, and he basically had the car in storage ever since. Never finished it. So what's cool about this, like I mentioned, it is rust-free, and the body kit was installed fairly well. It's nice and straight. The door gaps all look good. The way it was mounted looks like it was done properly. So if you look, the liners, the fenders are lined and everything. It goes all the way to the body. It looks like it was done well. The car is full of parts. So when they stripped it, there's the interior is full of parts. The trunk is full of parts and trim and stuff. The glass is up against the wall. The transmission is against the wall. There's no engine in it. The gentleman does have the twin cam that came with it that I'll probably be picking up sometime soon. So one of the first things I have to do is take an inventory of what I actually have and what I still need to get and start making a list of what I need to get. A couple other things about the body kit itself that aren't 100% correct or not done. So the hood is just sitting on here. I have to see if I even have hood hinges. But this opening needs to get cut open, and finished. There should be vents in this location on each side of the hood, with a little mesh, with a little grill that goes over it. So those grills I have to find. The little pockets right here that you see is where a turn signal is supposed to go. So I have to look, I have to acquire those turn signals and then make them fit, cut those holes. There also should be an opening between those two pockets, like a lower grill opening. I have seen some replicas or tributes without it, but I think I want that opening there. This is not the correct grill. This is just the standard North American Fiat 131 grill. The Abarth cars had a specific grill to them. So I'm gonna see if I could try to find one. And even those, there was the one with the, like what you see there, where the high beam and the low beam are the same size. And then they went to one where the inner light was larger, kind of like a spotlight. Not to be confused with the Fiat 131 Racing, which the outer light was larger. But I digress on that. It's on these Enki wheels right now, which are actually brand new. Those I'm assuming are 4x100 bolt pattern, and that mother of a spacer is actually like an adapter too, I'm figuring. Fiats run 4x98 millimeter wheels normally, so I am going to not use these, probably either sell them might actually see if they fit on the Cabriolet, and get the correct, like a period corrector and proper fitting wheel. It's all jacked up right now. I'm assuming that's because it's super light with no glass in it, no engine, no drivetrain. But we will work on the stance of the car and get it sitting where it needs to be sitting. What else? The tail panel. So this has the later body style tail panel. Let me swing around with the bigger lights. Most of these cars, when you see them, have the older body style, and it's a smaller tail light assembly. I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna have to swap this to make it look right, but I have found pictures of later race cars with this style tail panel with these lights. Actually, one of them was campaigned in North America in like SECA events. So I'm getting more information on that particular car because maybe I'll use that as my inspiration. I hesitate to call it a replica because I know some people get, when you call something a replica, it better be a replica. And it's probably the better term for this will be a tribute, because the Abarth cars had a 16 valve head, which is like impossible to find. I think I saw one, it was like $16,000 just for a cylinder head. The Abarth cars had independent rear suspension, and there was a lot of specific components to those cars that, like the fuel injection, the mechanical fuel injection, stuff like that. So this will most likely be a tribute. I'm still kind of playing with the idea of drivetrain. Most likely, I'm going to go with a standard 131 drivetrain in that it'll be the twin cam engine, but do it with, Weber carbs and a header and all that. Even though I think like the engine out of the new Abarth 124 convertible, like the little turbocharged 4, would be awesome in one of these. But I think I'm just going to go the more traditional route unless one of those, falls in my lap, which you never know. What else? That's kind of the plan. The other big issue is interior. So I got to figure it out once I do the inventory. But these cars came in 2 flavors from when you bought them new. You had the real 131 Abarth like race car, which had like a sheet metal dash with the round gauges and it was a race car interior. And then there was a Stradale version, right, or street version, which had a proper interior, just like more like the regular car. So, right, it'd be easy to go race car with this thing. Maybe put a half cage in the back and get some race seats and figure out what to do with the dash. So I don't know. I have to figure it out. Any comments would be appreciated with regards to the direction you think I should go with it. Even the glass. I have the glass, but you could easily go with like Lexan windows and that sort of thing, and just really go race car with it. The story to get it was kind of funny. So this will be the last piece on this video. So it started with, where all my poor decisions come from, Facebook Marketplace. So a 131, the 4-door 131 popped up on Marketplace. And I messaged the guy immediately because it was local and he mentioned, oh, it's rust free, that sort of thing. So I messaged him, and then I shared the ad with my brother. At the same time I was sharing it with my brother, he shared it with me. I ended up messaging the guy, and eventually he replied and said, so what do you think? He gave me some information about it, said, what do you think? And I replied, well, I'm really looking for a 2-door, and I'm not interested. And he replied back saying, oh, I have a 2-door as well. And it has the, like the Group 4 rally car body kit installed. And I nearly fell out of my chair because, again, this is 20 minutes from my house. So I sent a screenshot of that message, that text, to my brother, and he was like, let's go see him. Let's go look at the cars. And I was not available. I had some commitments, that day. So my brother runs up there, and what he said is he saw the 4-door, and then they came over to this thing, and this had a cover on it. And my brother said, I never really saw the car. He goes, I saw the one arch. I picked up the cover enough to see the one fender flare and the little scoop, the inlet scoop on the side. And I basically told the guy I wanted both cars. And that was it. Brother bought them. The four-door got delivered the next day to my shop. This got delivered about a week later, I think the following weekend. And here it is. And actually the guy, we've been talking to him, he's been helping us find some other parts and dig up some things that he said he had, some paperwork, which we all got. But this is gonna be a cool project. It should get a ton of attention because there's literally, I don't know, a couple of these in the United States. I've seen a couple of these replicas or tributes pop up on like Bring a Trailer and things like that, but I don't know, there's just a few of them. So it should be a fun car to take to like a caffeine and carburetors type of event. I'm sure a lot of people are going to confuse it with like a Datsun 510, but it should be a interesting conversation piece, to say the least. But there it is. This is going to be a long-term project. I think between actually figuring out what to do with it, trying to get the correct information, trying to actually source parts. Everything that I'm looking at is either in like Europe or Australia. I think just getting the parts and the time it's going to take to get the parts is going to be a little bit of a production. And then the final piece is I really do want to do this right, because like I said, to me this is like a bucket list build. I've always wanted to build one of these. I am not going to flip this. This is going to be our build. And so stay tuned. Like this channel, like this video, subscribe to this channel if you want to stay updated on the build of this guy. And that's really it. If you have any comments, like I said, I'm looking for information. So if you have comments or sources for parts or anything like that, feel free to comment in the section below. But otherwise, this is yet another one of our projects. Fiat 131 Abarth Tribute, we'll call it. So thank you for watching.